Whoa, haven't done this in a while, have I? A game review? But Noah, all you're good at is making shitty jokes and being bad at Dead by Daylight. Nope. My only chance is Wiggletown. Can he get out of Wigglesville? Can he McWiggle away? No, I don't think he can. That's a hook. That's a big hook. Please no? Please no hooksies? No hooksies? No, it's hooksies. Okay, so I may be rethinking my, earlier statement about being, a deity and perhaps being decent. I'm gonna rescind that statement. I'm gonna rescind both of those, and I'm going to say that I am the world's dumbest man. Well, too bad. You're getting a review whether you like it or not. Cue the poorly edited. Wait, I don't have an intro anymore. Shit. Just start. Just go. Just do it. Just start the thing. Sonic Forces, a game that was doomed to at least an existence of mediocrity right from the get-go. It was announced the same day as Sonic Mania, and the reaction to this game follows a nice little flowchart. It starts up high, then gets real low as the trailer goes on. Boom. Play as modern Sonic. Nice. Balance the release of a classic Sonic game with modern one. Oh, classics in this one too. But why? Didn't we leave them behind in generations? How did... Oh, no. Go back! Go back! Side note, there's a fun little thing you can do on Google, which is to type in your name, plus the hedgehog, into Google Images, and then see what comes up. Let's see what we get. Mine, shall we? Noah the Hedgehog. I feel nothing but great shame. Any whoosies, you're not here to learn about my own personal nightmare fuel. You're here to learn about what I think about Sonic Forces. Well, I suppose the logical place would be to start with the story. Whoa! So we begin with a shot of Eggman doing his usual thing. New scheme, new ultimate weapon, glowing gemstone. Pretty typical Sonic fare at this point. You would think that this would be just a nice, happy little Sonic game, right? Wrong, kiddies. See? Sonic goes to respond to Tails' distress call at some city. Where is this again? It doesn't matter, because Eggman shows Sonic he ain't messing around this time, because he brought along, one of Sonic's allies, the fucking... Is this the guy from Lost World? That game was all a blur to me. Same robot we beat up in, like, every other game, and the God of Destruction Chaos, who will not be used in any fight, stage, or battle at any point in the game, mind you. You had the most interesting Sonic build at your disposal, and you didn't even use it! And Eggman's newest creation, Infinite, who has the ability to float and have his arms crossed like an emo kid. They all then proceed to beat the ever-loving crap out of Sonic, while Tails just sort of watches it all happen because he couldn't be bothered to look up from his Etch-a-Sketch. Tails, what are you doing? You've taken on half of these villains by yourself. Are you seriously just gonna stand there and watch as your hero, friend, and idol has his ass handed to him? Do something! So yeah, Sonic is straight up murdered. Eggman legitimately takes over the world for once, and I, for one, am surprised that Sonic Team decided that this was the direction they wanted to go with this story. I mean, so far, it's been surprisingly dark. If you were to go into this totally unspoiled, this is not what you would have expected from a Sonic game. Unless, of course, the only Sonic game you ever played was Shadow the Hedgehog, but that's beside the point. Anyway, with Eggman having taken over the world, Knuckles, yes, Knuckles, has become the leader of what is essentially the freedom fighters from the Sonic SatAM cartoon, but with characters some people actually give a shit about nowadays. Wait a fucking minute. Silver, what the fuck are you doing here? Didn't we, fix your timeline back in Sonic 06? And for that matter, how the hell were you in Sonic Generations? How did you get here? And where's Blaze for that matter? Why didn't you bring her along? Your presence here is more concerning to me than Eggman's domination at this point. It doesn't really matter at this point, because the Resistance has just got a fresh, new recruit ready to become part of the revolution that will stop Eggman's evil schemes. I wonder what heroic face will walk through that door.
All except for this brave kid.
Yep. Character creation time, ladies and germs. You can finally create your own abomination to save the world that will rival the likes of Sonic, Shadow, and Cold Steel the Hedgehog themselves. Have fun picking from 30 trillion different accessories that have no impact on gameplay whatsoever, and go nuts trying to create the most retina-burning main character you could possibly think of. Anyway, after you've created Springhead, the almighty eater of worlds, Knuckles just straight up hands you a Wispin, a weapon that harnesses the energy of the Wisps. You remember the Wisps, right? Those little aliens that supposedly went back to their planets at the end of Sonic Colors? Sorry, but they're back, because apparently Sonic can't go faster without chewing through those guys like they're extraterrestrial Tic Tacs nowadays. Anyway, Knuckles hands you a gun, even though you just walked through the door, and is like, alright boys and girls, let's go fight an Eggman. Also, remember that whole Sonic is dead thing? Yeah, fuck that nonsense, because Sonic Team can't spend 2 seconds without their icon on screen. Literally less than 5 minutes after we hear Knuckles say Sonic is dead.
The resistance in the city is reporting that whatever it is that finished Sonic. Sorry, I'm still not used to saying that.
Amy say Sonic is dead.
I still dream that Sonic is with us.
Tails go crazy because Sonic is presumably dead.
Sonic is gone, Amy, and Tails has just lost it.
And the world collapses into ruin because Sonic is presumably dead. They're like, he wasn't dead. Eggman just had him up in space waiting to kill him. What? Why? At all? If Sonic wasn't dead the whole time, that means after Sonic was defeated, Tails was still too busy playing with his Etch-a-Sketch to do anything, while Eggman carries Sonic's body away from the scene. Second of all, why even have Sonic be presumed dead in the first place if you're not going to follow through with that? Like, I understand bringing Sonic back at some point. I mean, he has to be back. He's the main character, after all. But it hasn't even been 5 minutes yet, guys. Let me believe that I'm the hero. Wasn't that the point of the whole character creator thing? You could have done, like, a grand re-entrance thing for Sonic in a dire situation later down the road. But no, we can't handle Sonic not being on screen for longer than 3 microseconds! Whatever, move along, I don't give a shit. Anywho, we steal a shuttle to go save Sonic, but back on Earth, Tails is moping about doing nothing. I mean, he tried to fix a broken down Omega, but apparently he couldn't do it, so holy shit, it's chaos! Wait, Tails, why are you afraid? This is like basic chaos. He's got no Chaos Emeralds or anything. You beat him when he had 4 Chaos Emeralds powering him up one time. Hell, you helped Sonic fight off Metal Overlord, and I'm pretty sure that dude was stronger than Chaos Zero. Whatever, I've accepted that you've just become a useless pansy at this point. Congrats, Tails. Feel bad. I don't know where this is going. Also, classic Sonic just shows up and bops Chaos on the head. That's it. No more Chaos. It's the only time you'll see him until a thing at the very end where he doesn't even matter. It's implied later that this is the same classic from Mania, by the way, but also the same classic from Sonic Generations. But that still doesn't make me care about him. I'm going to save you some time here and say that Classic Sonic actually has no reason to be here aside from pandering to classic enthusiasts. He's got no weight on the story. All of his missions could have been easily done with the Avatar or modern Sonic, and his stages and mechanics are easily the worst. But more on that later. So Sonic's been on the Death Egg, just, sitting comfortably in a jail cell, where he's let go because some alarms went off. I'm not really sure how that correlates. Wouldn't you strengthen security if you needed to sound the alarm? I mean, this leads to a nice little boss fight with Beefy Red Boy, but it still bugs me a little. From here on out, most of the stages are just missions loosely related to the goal of freeing the world from Eggman's grasp, with some little bits of information sprinkled here and there throughout the levels. I'll only touch on the more important bits, so I'm not sitting here going over each and every level's minute significance to the story. At one point, we see Sonic catch up to Infinite, who had just decked the shit out of Silver. And so begins one of the most ridiculously unnecessary exchanges I've ever seen in a video game. God damn it, why?
Time to tag out, Silver. I got it from here.
Well, look who's back from the dead. The little blue savior. But what's that I smell? You reek of fear. Glad to see I left an impression.
That's not fear. I ran all the way over here. And you haven't left an impression. I don't know anything about you, not even your name.
You may call me Infinite. In the brief moments that remain to you.
Oh, great. See, Infinite? Now we're getting to know each other. So, what's your favorite color? Do you like long, romantic walks on the beach? What's the source of your power? You can skip the first 2 questions if you like.
The source of my power is none of your concern.
Sorry, but you've just got to share the secret of your power with me. I insist.
You're insisting.
Huh, Sonic? I wonder what the source of his power could be. Perhaps it's the large, red, pulsating gemstone protruding from the center of his chest like a goddamn spike!
Anyway, we have a boss fight with Infinite, where we beat him. That's it. Everyone, wrap it up. Game's over. Go home. Who cares? He's done. We win. Meanwhile, classic Sonic and Tails are spying on Eggman and Infinite like 2 schoolgirls looking at the hot guy in class. Way to be sneaky, guys. Through their superior stealth skills, Tails and Classic find out that the source of Infinite's power is actually the Phantom Ruby, the same one that Eggman found in Mania and that Eggman has been trying to make copies? Prototypes don't really make sense, since he just straight up found one in Mania. This isn't really explained too well. But I should stop expecting too much in the way of details or nuance from the story at this point. Sometime later, Sonic is investigating reports of Shadow destroying shit in some city, but when he gets there, he's attacked, and the real Shadow comes out of nowhere and straight up fucking dusts the fake. Honestly, my favorite part out of any cutscene. Turns out, Infinite can make virtual reality projections of past enemies, or basically anything he wants really, and it becomes real in the minds of anyone under his control. So even though the stuff might be fake, it hurts their real bodies. Don't think about it too hard or you'll hurt yourself. Trust me, it's better if you just accept that Infinite can make shit and it's bad.
Replicas. The problem is, they may not be real, but their powers are as formidable as the originals. According to Rouge, Infinite can create unlimited numbers of them.
So, fight after fight, he can just keep cranking out counterfeits?
Exactly. As it stands, there's no way we can win this.
Also, he can make infinity things. Now, if you have half a brain cell, you would realize what this means. If Infinite can make an unlimited number of ultimate life forms, gods of destruction, ultimate robot creations, and whatever else he fucking wants, why in the actual hell did it take Eggman this long to conquer the world? He literally has an infinite number of disposable demi and regular gods for his army, and a being that can manipulate reality. Am I the dumb one here? Am I missing something? Also, apparently, Rouge got this information somehow, but didn't bother to share it with anyone. Fuck you, Rouge. And what does Knuckles do with this information? He decides that we should head straight to Eggman to fight him. It fails. Spectacularly. We do learn that our character can use a Phantom Ruby prototype that he found. Highly doubt that that will come in handy at the last moment when things look incredibly dire. Anyway, some other stuff happens that's really not important, and we end up destroying the Death Egg and going back to the city to fight Eggman again, because that worked so well the last time. Also, turns out, in addition to Infinite being able to create whatever the fuck he wants, he can also create portals to a literal void where nothing happens and escape is impossible. Good thing we charged back in to take on Eggman. Right, guys?
Whoa! 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 Buddy, don't! You'll be sucked in too!
Oh, but don't worry. Sonic and Avatar can escape from anything with the power of friendship.
Excuse me, boss?
It can't be! It's impossible to get out of the Phantom Ruby's null space!
Now, maybe by myself, but I had a little help from my friend. Something you wouldn't understand since you don't have any friends.
Oh, dude. Sick burn, Sonic. You know what I think would also help Eggman make friends? Not conquering the world. I hear world conquering is a real social no-no nowadays. It's time to head to Eggman again, but this time we brought copies of the same 4 animal designs we could think of to help us. Holy fuck, Infinite's gonna drop the sun on us. But wait, why aren't they burning up? Tails said that because they are under the Phantom Ruby's control, it's part of their reality. So actually everything should have been incinerated from a sun that's so close to them. Who needs rules or physics anyway? They were just keeping me tied down, man. Now here's the biggest problem with the Phantom Ruby bullshittery. Tails says to the Avatar that they can use the Phantom Ruby prototype to stop the sun from falling on them. To do this, he has to go on an extremely dangerous trek to the top of that center pillar and fling himself at the literal sun and hope to God the Phantom Ruby decides that the sun will go away. Or he could, you know, just undo whatever mind control is over all of their forces anyway. That would get rid of the illusion, right? No, that would be thinking with logic, and here at Sonic Forces, logic's for fucking pansies. Throw yourself at the flaming ball of gas, nerd, hope it works. It does work, somehow. So we fight Infinite, and he is somehow easier than the first time we fought him. And once he's beaten, he says something really vague about still being able to fight, but then just flies off somewhere. We never see him again. For realsies this time, guys, he's gone. That's it, no more. That's it. The whole main villain of the game is done. It's gone. No. That's it. But psych, it's final boss time, because that wasn't the final boss, that was too easy. It's a cheap as fuck boss fight. I'm not going to go into details, but like, the Avatar part, it's just so bad. It's just, Rouge makes the brilliant deduction that no regular tool can damage it now. But what do we do to prove these naysayers wrong, Sonic? Throw mounds of garbage at the god robot. Yeah! Bip boop bop, we win. Eggman is trapped in the nothingness, and we live to fight another day. Sonic Forces' story is all over the place. It attempts to do some creative things, but falls flat on its face by not adhering to its own rules, logic, or following up on any of the interesting ideas it presents. It wants to be an edgy story that children can really enjoy, but if we think about that logically, that doesn't seem like it'll work out. Overall, the story's just kind of a mess.
Seems the big tentacles are the weak spot!
As for gameplay, Sonic Forces is also all over the place. There are 30 stages in total, which at first Seems like there's a lot for you to do, but in reality, this game, if you're speeding through it to reach the end, you can beat it in like 3 hours. The stages are so short, I hesitate to even call them fully fleshed out levels. Sonic Forces has 3 main gameplay styles. You got your modern Sonic, your Avatar stages, and your horribly fucked up classic Sonic physics that should be incinerated in the nearest fire. Modern Sonic is what you've come to expect from Sonic Team's Sonic gameplay at this point, but now it's even lighter on the challenge. It's the boost formula, which I think is highly unnecessary in this game considering every single stage in this game takes like 2 minutes max. Sonic stages find you zipping from one end of the level to the other at top speeds, doing some minor platforming here and there. The mechanics are okay, they're definitely a downgrade from how modern Sonic played in Generations. Sonic's jumping physics are really wonky. He has a double jump that's basically almost useless, and whenever you jump it's hard to gauge how much momentum you're putting behind your jumps. This leads to me encountering a lot of deaths that I felt were just plain unfair. I know how to do the platforming, but the controls are just so fucked that more than half the time it's a gamble as to whether or not I'll actually land on the platform I'm aiming for. In addition, in a lot of the Sonic stages or the stages where Sonic and the Avatar team up, there are these huge set pieces and backgrounds to behold. Like in level 7, I can't be fucked to remember the name, there's this huge ass pyramid in the distance at the start of the level, and it looks so cool that you could climb up the outside or explore around the base or something, but within 5 seconds, it's out of view, and within the next 30 seconds, you're at the top of the pyramid, diving in. What? What happened there? I want to see more of the cool Tomb of a Dead Pharaoh! Similarly, these stages will often touch upon a really interesting mechanic that could be neat for a much longer level, but since the levels are over so quickly, you really are just left with a bad taste in your mouth after having been teased with an interesting mechanic to have it be swiped away from you before you even have a chance to fully experience it. Both the classic stages and the Avatar stages suffer from the same problem, but I'll cover those in a little bit. Now the Avatar stages. These are by far my favorite stages to play because of the new Wispins. I know the idea behind them is sort of dumb within the story, but they actually do provide some interesting gameplay. There's like 6 different Wispins you can pick from that each have a different attack and super move that lets you move around in a new way. The stages will sometimes have alternate routes closed off to you if you aren't using a certain Wispin, which provides some incentive for you to go back to the level to explore the new paths and play it a little differently with the new weapon. Good on you for that one, Sonic Team. However, these levels are by far the easiest for one simple reason. The Wispins are too fucking powerful. You can use the very first Wispin you get until the very end of the game and have no problems whatsoever. The fire one shoots an extremely long-range flamethrower that has infinite ammo and destroys everything in one hit. Where's the challenge? The lightning one lets you whip the shit out of everything around you and fly along ring paths which often just take you straight past a lot of otherwise tricky platforming. Where's the challenge? The cube one freezes enemies in an area and gives you more rings for defeating them. Where's the challenge? The drill one makes you zoop forward at speeds the human mind cannot comprehend, allowing you to destroy everything in your way. Where's the challenge? The void one lets you suck in all nearby enemies and items in a giant black hole that moves you forward and lets you instantly teleport a fair distance forward. Where's the challenge? And finally, this one's the best, and I think you just have to see what it can do for yourself. This is footage of me playing the final, supposedly most difficult Avatar stage using the Hover Wispin.
Made it so far. We're so close. This is truly world-shattering. Isn't there anything we can do?
Cover! 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 Cover!
Maybe we need to fight fire with fire. If you can get close enough to that sun, the prototype should cancel out the effect.
You'll be burnt to a crisp before then! Give it up, rookie! Fall back! Cover! Cover! Cover!
It's all up to the rookie now.
Chances of success are minuscule. It's a desperate long shot. Please, come back in one piece.
Cover! 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 You think you can stop the sun? To burn up like a moth thrown to a flame. It's over!
You're a real soldier now, rookie. You can do this.
Cover! Cover!
Hang in there a bit longer.
Show everyone what you're made of. Come on, you can make it.
where's the challenge? And guess what? When you start the game, you have the option to choose between normal and hard difficulty. They recommend that you choose normal if you've never played a Sonic game before, but honestly, you can play hard mode if you have working fingers and thumbs. There's no lives to worry about, the stages are short as fuck, the Wispins are overpowered, you get S ranks left and right, and it's just all too easy. Especially the Avatar stages. I suppose it's at least cool to mow down everything in your path. Finally, there's Classic Sonic. Classic Sonic, in this game, is an abomination. His physics are totally fucked, his stages are poorly designed, and worst of all, Sonic the Hedgehog, the fastest thing alive, has a motherfucking speed cap. A speed cap! Watch this with me for a second.
According to Rouge, there should be a database somewhere. We have to locate the building it's in. There's a lot of ground to cover, so just finding it will be a chore.
Did you see that? Moving down the largest hill in the game does not grant Sonic the Hedgehog enough speed for him to overcome a small hill. Why? This lack of speed makes for really poor gameplay in all of his stages. In order for you to get any decent speed, you have to either spin dash or drop dash, but doing so will often lead you to hard to see pits that you'll end up dying in. So your options are either play really slowly and be bored all the fucking time, or go really quickly and potentially die in the process. It doesn't even matter, honestly, it's just the fact that it feels so wrong to play Classic Sonic in this game. It's hard to put into words, so I'll try my best to conjure up an analogy for you. You're looking at a sandwich. It's a nice sandwich. It's got your favorite deli meat, or none if that's your preference. It's got your favorite bread type and condiments, and it's sitting there all nice and tasty, ready for you to enjoy. The trick is, it's April Fool's Day, and that perfect sandwich has just been out in the open, sitting there, you know, like a trap. You can feel that something's wrong, but you really want that sandwich. So you take a bite and find that it's made of those plastic food-shaped toys, and you're wondering how you didn't recognize that from when you saw it or held it in your hands. Look, okay, it's a shitty analogy, but you get the idea. The gameplay is bad. It just feels wrong.
Garbage. Sonic Forces is garbage. Thank you to all of those who watched this all the way to the end. This one was a lot of work, so if you enjoyed the video, leaving a like or sharing it would definitely help me out a whole lot. If there was anything you thought I could improve on, you could leave a comment, or you could leave one telling me how fantastic the video was. Either way, hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you later.